Hi, it's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Today I'm bringing you my first week of my 2018 Project Life. So my New Year's resolution is going well so far. I've started. So for this I'm using the Citrus Twist January kit. Now this is my first layout with the kit, so I did do a little bit of messing about here and there till I decided what sort of cards and what sort of embellishments I did want to use. So I've used two of the papers, the 6x6 papers that we got from the kit, and then I have chosen some of the 3x4 cards. For my photos, I've got two photos at 4x6, and then I've got two that are probably about 3.5, maybe 3 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 square, just to bring a little bit of variety. And then I do have a couple that I initially put into the Collect app because I find that it gives a nice size square for the smaller cards, so they end up just being a little bit less than 3 inches square. And initially I'm sort of trying to find what's on the kits, have a little bit of a mess about, just because it's the first time that I've really started messing about with these kits. I knew I did want to use the 2018, or at least one of the 2018s that appear, with this being my first week. So I have brought in the Hello 2018 puffy sticker, and I've just put that on the photo at the top, which is just a photo my husband took while at work of some snowfall. So I thought that works pretty well. It's a pretty picture, so we'll use that. So while I was initially, I had pulled out, this 3x4 card with a design on it. Let's do it. Let's do what we love and do a lot of it. But then I realised that I hadn't really left myself any space to tell any of the stories for that week. So I decided to take that card off and pull in a journaling card instead. And then I actually thought to myself, maybe I can use this with one of the square photos. Now, using it as a 3x4 card itself didn't quite work, with the photos being a bit wider than the 4 inches. But it did work quite well cut apart. So I did try it near the top photo, but then I decided it would actually go better with the picture of my craft room. And I decided to replace the word love that was already in there with the hot pink letters that came from the kit. And my main reason for that, not only because it just brings a little bit of variety, but it was also due to the fact that I got that really hot pink card to the left, and it brought that colour over to the other side of the page. There was also the open road and travelogue as one of the little die cuts, which I thought would look great with the picture of the suitcases of my daughter about to be going to placement in Luton. Initially I did stick it on the wrong side of the photo, but luckily my adhesive is extremely forgiving and allowed me to move it so that my photo was the right way around. And then I'm just going to chop the extra bits off this 3x4 card, and I love the way that card turned out. I really do. I like the blue with the pink, and yeah. Anyway, I like the way that all turned out, and I was trying to, next I was moved up to the top card. Initially I was just trying to bring some more of that blue in, so I was using some of the offcuts around the photos, but you will see I will end up changing that all up shortly. So basically a lot of the time I spent looking through all the sorts of bits that I got and had, because I wasn't quite sure where I was going. It's a new way of working for me, in the fact that I've done my layouts quite differently for 2016 and 17, which you can see on my channel if you want to have a look. They are still me, they're just a different type of me. So it's sort of a new, different style design. And yeah, it just took a while to come together, but I do love the way it turned out. Now, my camera did decide to stop filming. It does that every now and then. It does save the film, but it decides to stop. So I took that opportunity to write in my journaling. So I've just added in things about each of the photos or things that happened that week. And then I'm going to work on this bottom card for a good few minutes, considering this is sped up. And I've just put my alone time. I've just tagged that onto some Studio Calico kits that I got, because I have described the rest in the journaling. I then did a lot of gluing down of everything that you've already seen, so I have sped that up quite a bit, because who wants to watch that? And then I go back to a little bit of messing. So initially I did think on my journaling that I wanted to put a little heart against each sort of bullet point in my journaling. However, I wasn't loving it. While I liked the fact that it brought all the colours over, it wasn't grabbing me. So I left it for a moment, and I decided to use the stamp that said Going Places and just stamp that over the photo of my daughter's cases. Now, you can't see it too well. You can see it in person, but it's not in your face. And I actually quite like the fact that it's turned out quite subtle. By the time I'd finished that, I realised that this journaling, I wasn't liking it. So I decided to move the hearts about instead to different places on the page. So I popped a yellow one in the middle of the O of love, and then I popped a pale pink one initially on the top of the journaling card, but then I decided rather than the blue, I wanted the pale pink on the pink card to the left. So I just switched those over, so I've just got a couple of pink hearts. And then lastly, the main real thing I'm looking for is something else for this top card. Doesn't need to be a lot, I just know it needs something else. And I originally pulled out one of the die cuts, but the phrase wasn't really speaking to me. So I did end up switching it out for just one of the word strips that says, "Gimme the beat and free my soul." It's not a perfect quote, but it's not a bad quote. And I felt that that finished it off quite nicely. So that is my 2018 spread done. I'm glad that I'm up to date so far. I do hope you like it. I've got some more close-ups coming up, though I'm just giving it a quick scoot under the camera at the moment. But I'd like to take the time to thank you so much for joining me. If you've liked this video, please give it a like. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. I'll speak to you all again soon.